Pastor Mark Biltz here from Shaddai Ministries. Thank you again so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe and share. Also, please like this video, and we would love to hear your comments. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye. Now look at Exodus 22, verse 2 through 6. If you have a thief and he's found breaking up and he's smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. Now, if the sun be risen on him, in other words, it's now daylight rather than in the dark, you can't see versus you can see, there shall be blood shed for him, for he shall make full restitution. If he has nothing, that he will be sold for his theft. So now, again, the bad guy gets sold. And if the theft is certainly found in his hand alive, whether it's an ox or an ass or a sheep, he has to restore double. Now, if a man causes a field or vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in someone else's field, of the best of his own field and of the best of his own vineyard will he make restitution. In other words, okay, I stole your best sheep, but I get caught, I'm going to give you my 5 worst sheep. No, you have to make sure it is the best of what you have. But what we see here, it's all about restitution. The Bible plainly, over and over, look at this one verse. He shall make full restitution. If he has nothing, he will be sold for his theft. And then it says, if the theft is found in his hand alive, he's to restore double. And then it talks about the field. And it says, he shall make restitution. If a fire breaks out, catches in the thorns, so the stalks of corn or stay in the corn of the field be consumed, he that kindled the fire shall surely do what? Make restitution. It doesn't say all he has to do is go kill a lamb and God's happy. Sacrifices didn't absolve you. You still had to repent. You still had to make restitution. This is all in the Torah. It's telling you. It's telling you how to behave and how you correct a situation. How many of you know that God says do not steal? How many of you know the vast majority of people don't care? People steal. Has anyone ever got something stolen from them? Like most of us have. Well, guess what? Just because God said it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. They owe money, all right? So look at Ephesians 4:28. Let him that stole quit it. Steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands that which is good, that he may have to give to him that needs. Look at that. Even when you're working, you're not working for yourself. You're working so you can help others. It's a whole different mental attitude. Now, if you remember Zacchaeus in the Gospels, in Luke 19:8, Zacchaeus stood up and he said to the Lord, behold, Lord, the half of my goods I give to the poor. And if I have taken anything from anyone by false accusation, I will restore him fourfold. Wow, this is someone who's following Torah, and at the same time he wasn't following Torah, he was stealing, but now he wants to follow Torah. And God didn't say, oh, don't worry about it, the law's done away with, you don't have to restore anything. Not what he said. Let's go to Exodus 22, verse 14. If a man borrows anything from his neighbor, and then it is injured or dies, the owner not being with it, he shall make full restitution. So in other words, if I borrow your ox to plow my field and the ox dies, guess what? I got to pay for it. Now, someone can say, I'm not under the law. I don't have to pay for it. I can borrow anything I want from you, and I don't have to give it back, and I can trash it, and I don't owe you nothing because I'm not under the law. Was that any of the 10 Commandments? No. Okay, so I want you to understand how dumb it is, the way some people think. Look at Exodus 22, verse 22 through 24. It's incredible. You shall not afflict any widow or a fatherless child. Okay? Hey, why is that? Well, the orphan has no father. The widow has no husband. There's no one who can defend them. This is why it's so important to realize. And look at what it says. If you afflict them in any way, and they cry at all to me, I will surely hear their cry. That is not a correct translation. I'm going to give you the correct translation from the Hebrew. If mistreating, you mistreat them, and crying, they cry to me. Listen, I will listen to them. Do you hear how it's duplicated? Over and over. In other words, it goes on, God says, my wrath will wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives will be widows, and your children fatherless. Now, this tells us this is one of the 613 commandments. Don't afflict a widow or a fatherless child. Now, is that one of the 10 commandments? So does that mean it's done away with and now we can afflict widows and orphans? No. Look at Exodus 22, verse 26 and 27. If you at all take your neighbor's raiment to pledge, you will deliver it to him by that the sun goes down, by nightfall. He's a day laborer. By nightfall, you have to give him his wages. It says, for that is his covering only. It's his raiment for his skin. Wherein shall he sleep? And it'll come to pass when he cries to me that I will hear, for I am gracious. Wow. You know, this is really heavy. One thing, there's a couple things I want to bring out on this point. It also, this talks about taking someone's coat for a pledge, all right? But you have to give it back to them at night. Well, it's the same thing with payday. It says a day laborer has to be paid at night or he'll cry out to me. What this is saying is employers need to pay their employees on payday. What would you do as an employee if come payday your boss withheld you the check and they said, I'm going to give it to you next Wednesday? And you could play, wow, no way, you can't do that. And he says, yes, I can. I'm not under the law. Do you see how dumb that is? Well, nowhere in the 10 Commandments does it say you have to pay people on payday. So this is showing, God is telling us, as one of the 613 commandments, you know, we need to be gracious. And look how this thing ends. God says, I will hear, for I am gracious. Do you know what really hit me this morning as I was going over this again? God is not just saying, I will act graciously. He's saying, I am gracious. That is who I am. That's the great I am is I am. That's his name is gracious. His name is, it's in his being. It's not just in his actions. It's who he is. And so God is merciful, and he's not just acting these things out. He is a gracious being. Pastor Mark Biltz here from El Shaddai Ministries. Thank you again so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe and share. Also, please like this video, and we would love to hear your comments. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.